Okay, so it should be. My computer's really slow, or the internet is, or something. So it's saying that it's redirecting, but now it just showed up as Facebook. So there
Yeah.
you go. So hello, everyone out there in Facebook land. And, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, I'm so glad that you're here. And this is my friend Dan in Mexico. And we wanted to chat about working with other people, creating with other people, and how it's been really different recently than it has been years ago. And so, Dan, you can start.
Thank you, Julie. I'm so grateful for this invitation. And the energy is showing so differently later with all these changes. Like one of the things that I say that is the only secure thing is that everything is going to change. Um, and we were talking about creating with others. And like, I go back to this spot in the first book of Talking to the Animals by Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness. That he said that if you're willing to go beyond the judgments, every person, every animal, every thing, every entity will have a gift for you. So if you go beyond that, there's always a gift. If you take what I call all the distractors, not only the distractor implants, but anything that takes you away from something that will expand you, that will be a gift, you'll finally get that, like that pot of gold on the other side of the rainbow.
It seems like, gosh, I haven't read that animal book for a long time, but I remember loving it. And it seems like it's easier to start with animals because they don't judge.
Oh yeah. Like I was in Mexico City this weekend for a bars class and a swap with another 9 facilitators. And besides being amazing, I started like, oh, I'm Dan and I love horses. And then I said, oh yeah, enough with the horses. And we started laughing. So it was very joyful because it's like my thing, my theme. But yeah, it's so easy because like what I always say at the beginning, animals don't like any uncomfortable energy, meaning judgment, meaning depression, meaning sadness, meaning worried, meaning lack. They are surrounded and they show you you are surrounded with abundance of everything, unlimited energy. So my horses especially show you to get out of that zone really dynamically because they really truly don't like it because they've been facilitating so much. And it's really easy to, hey, you're in that uncomfortable energy, get out of here. The best scenario, they will leave. But in the other scenario, they will move you with their head or bump you with their body or like slightly bite you. So I always say, just lower your barriers, which is like a great, isn't it a great tool that just to
such a
lower your
great tool. Yeah. And the fact that they pick it up without you saying anything, you could go, I'm fine, but they're like, And that's how we are as people too, as we communicate. But so many people just say, I'm fine, but they're not. And you're aware of all this like stuff, and you believe the lip service instead of the awareness that you're getting.
Yes,
So
it's like every single thing is an structural, energetic field. It's constructed with energy. It's based on energy. It's energy. So what energy are you being is a question that I always ask myself. Because I can say a lot of things. I can smile. I can a lot of things. But then if inside I'm worried or I have an uncomfortable energy, that like last week I couldn't even define it until I was in a law office, and somebody that knows me really well, that I'm super joyful most of the time, she grabbed me by the arm and she said, "You're super stressed today." And I was just like, damn, I'm sorry. Well,
It's all right.
how am I, what energy am I being that they are perceiving that I'm super stressed? Plus, it's even greater that I'm so uncomfortable inside that it's showing on the outside. So I destroyed and created that and basically just like lower my barriers. And I was just like, what is the gift here that I'm not willing to receive? Um, then is
how
that
stress was
being
it?
the energy.
Right? Was it yours?
Exactly. No, it was like I didn't perceive the other 40 something attorneys that were there.
Yeah. Like when you're out and you're around horses and space and then going into a building of lawyers, like that's a different energy. Of course you're going to be like, ugh.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
totally
mirror.
different energy. And your willingness to like finally not defend or avoid it, because I was
Mhm.
like avoiding many things without me understanding that I was avoiding it. I thought I was choosing different, but no, you truly are avoiding something when you're not like receiving the gift of it.
Mhm.
And before we were talking about how such a gift was to co-facilitate this class with 9 other facilitators and then do the swap on yesterday with them again. Because when I started Access, I was just like so surprised. Sorry, people. Yes, I was surprised that nobody was co-facilitating with other facilitators. And I was just asking them, hey, why don't you co-facilitate this? This will look so amazing with the two energies. And they wouldn't say a thing.
Mhm.
And then later on, I was just like, oh, wow, I know why they don't do it. And then
Mhm.
that energy it wasn't great either. I was judging still. Um, and now this space of this co-facilitating was so kind
Mhm.
and was allowing the others to be them and giving them the space um, that I'm so grateful and so happy about it that this energy is showing up. Yes, there. I was so surprised of some other people's point of views,
Mhm.
but I have tools now. Like I found out later when I was in the airport that people were saying, yeah, you're facilitating because you have no people in your classes. And I was just like, oh, wow, that that was not in my universe and it's not going to be.
That's their
And
point of view.
yeah, and things like that. Like I received so many gifts about co-facilitating the way these other 9 amazing, powerful beings are the gift
Yeah.
that the only thing that I can say is like leapfrogging. It's like
Yeah.
you create great, they create great, and then we create greater together, inviting each other, inviting everybody.
It's like, in a symphony, adding more instruments together and you get a fuller sound orchestra,
Yes. Yes, it's a
Um,
greater
yeah.
combination of energies that invites everybody to create greater. Yeah, just like you said, like an orchestra.
Yeah. I was just on a Beings of Light book reading with 5 different facilitators, and it like each person read a section of the book being who they be with it, and it's like you get these different awarenesses. First of all, the book is written by one person who you get a lot of awareness just reading it, but then somebody else bringing their energy to reading it, a section, you just, it's magic.
It is.
I don't know
It is.
how else to put words to it, but it's like, oh my God, you get so much more awareness. And that's why, like, coming together in groups, facilitating classes, clearings, even bars, like more people together doing it at the same time opens up more and more and more awareness and possibilities.
Yes, and it's this energy that like you be it really easily, that you also thank you for that because you're such an invitation to be that. Like you kind of pick up the thread of whatever energy, like for example, I'm being, and you like bump it up a little notch over unconsciousness, and that is so great. Like we have that ability to do it in not only in facilitating in your work, in your love life, in your businesses, in your relationship with money, in anything. Like I really love to say, and that while I was showering, I got this awareness. It was just like, I always say, where you put your energy is what is gonna grow. And it was like, dude, it's so simple. Where you put your energy is gonna work.
Yeah.
Your point of view creates your reality. So where are you putting your energy? Just be brave and
Yeah.
just look at it. If you
It's
don't
so
have a
cool that you
relationship,
say that.
yeah.
I was talking with my daughter yesterday. You know, it was Mother's Day. So I got to spend the day with my daughter, and she's 24. She grew up in Access. I think she was 6 when I started. And she's now living on her own in the city, San Francisco, and like in a job where now she doesn't like it anymore. And so it's like getting into these heavy places, and she knows she needs to make a change. And she's concerned, like, okay, if I quit my job, like, what am I going to do? I have rent to pay, blah, blah. And I said, you know, you're scattering seeds of possibilities. What are you watering? Are you watering the seeds of possibilities, or are you watering the heaviness of the job and the worry and, you know, the lack? What garden are you playing in? And she's like, damn.
Wow, thank you for that. Yeah, what are you wearing? It's like, what comes up to me is like this space that I have with the horses, that I keep on wearing this fruit trees, and they keep on getting black. Is that how you say it? Like bugs that eat up
Yeah.
the fruit and stuff. And at the beginning, like the beginning of the pandemic, I was just like, oh my God, I need to put the skimmics on it. And I kept on getting a no, a no, a no. And it was like, well, you're contributing because the bugs are contributing to you. You're not rejecting anything. But I'm not going to put more energy on the flow of nature, because nature is so powerful. Just if you want to grow up your business, put energy on your business. Just what you just said. It's just like
Yeah.
watering what you really wanted to grow.
It's so crazy. Like during the pandemic, I closed my jewelry boutique, forced to close it. And then I just let go of the lease. And I had this idea that people don't buy jewelry online. And my website has never really been, it was just like this thing. If somebody saw something in the store, they could go back and, you know, order it. Well, I was like, forget that. That point of view isn't working for me. What would it take for my website to make me money, even while I sleep? And so I started refreshing photos and adding new pieces and just looking at the website. And it's starting to get regular orders. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe how much I limited myself by buying into the point of view that other people told me. So
Yeah,
like,
and it's like your willingness to see your point of view on your business
yeah,
creates a huge change. And like you just said, you ask a question and then it opens up. So tell me another thing you did with your website, because it's really cool.
oh, well, let's see. Well, I added a whole bunch of earrings and necklaces that I had that I've already made, that I don't know why I never photographed and put them on. I guess I thought I have too many individual pieces to put one thing on. You know, usually you have something on the website and you can order multiples of it. But I just started putting the one of a kind things. And I also put things that I just made that day, which is kind of fun. And people are also ordering it from Instagram, which is really cool. They're like, "Oh, I want the one on the right." I'm like, really?
Yeah,
That's
Instagram
awesome.
is so dynamic, and it's like that question that I love, like what or who will you add today that will contribute for a greater life for you and your body. I was in the
Yeah.
airport yesterday and I saw this amazing seahorse with blue diamonds and white diamonds. And then I just immediately send it to a friend and I'm like, something looks weird. It's really cool. And she's like, just ask, like, they are natural or are they lab? Which I barely knew the difference, but I didn't know they could do blue. So it was a different thing. And I was just like so excited about it. And she said, like, first, oh, ask if it's going to make you money, if it's going to contribute to you. And I was just like so distracted on so many diamonds that I was just like, oh. And then I realized I wasn't traveling international. So I was just like, okay, I have some days, just let go all the distractions and just ask a question. Is this going to contribute? And oh, I mean, to me, generally, it's always like something that is generative. It's always going to increase your wealth, just because like diamonds or any jewelry will be more valuable. So to me, it's that space of being in the energy of how much are you willing to play, be, and become this energy of contribution in the energies of gifting and receiving simultaneously.
But also you have to recognize that pieces have their point of view too, and they know who they want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally new. So
Yeah.
pieces have their
So
point of
it's
view
like,
and they know who they want.
yeah. And like, I'll make something and I'm like, who is this for? But then I see a person and I'm like, oh, that thing pops into my mind and I pull it out, put it on them, and they light up. And it's like, wow, that was really cool. And a lot of people talk about opals, that you're not supposed to give opals as a gift, but that's not necessarily true. If a person puts an opal on, it's one of those stones that really shows if it wants you or not, because it'll light up in fire when it wants you. And on somebody else, it'll just be like, milky, kind of dead energy.
Wow. Thank you so much, because I just have clarity. Yesterday, I was in the energy of I need black diamonds, I need blue diamonds, instead of the expanding energy that will contribute. Because there's jewelry that will contribute. That's not the question.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. That is
And
so cool.
yeah, sometimes people don't listen and they don't get the thing. And sometimes they do. And, their whole world expands. And sometimes it's like they don't really like it, even if the piece wants them. So you always have choice.
Yeah, you always have choice. I was telling them, I was remembering the first class I took with Access there after I went to a bar. And I was like unpacking all the points of view that was separating me from this person that I wanted to date. And then everything that was limiting us to have a greater relationship and blah, 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 blah. And then I came back and I said to this facilitator, it didn't work. And she's like, honey, they always have a choice too. So, and then now I have the tools to recognize that, yeah, everybody have choice. There's a lot of people that will go to your classes, will buy your product, will buy your services, will like to have fun with you. And if you have no point of view and you do not, like, to me, there's two energies that dynamically in my reality are send you directly to limitation, which are deciding something or expecting something. And this was clarity I got with Access Consciousness. And I was doing it and still do it a little bit, but then I put in pocket or lower my barriers. If you question will empower you, a response will send you to a limitation and will contract you. So that's something that it's in my reality right now. So asking questions, but in the knowing that my question is going to be heard, that the universe has my back, and that I am, like we were talking about orchestrating, that while I'm asking, I'm equalizing my energy to become that energy. I have to be that energy. in order to bring it here to this reality. And limiting is so dynamically as deciding, oh, that person is for me. Oh, that jewel is for me. It's like, where is the question? Where is the expanding energy that will create greater? As I said, it's so easy as just lower your walls and barriers or any shield that you have created to defend from anything. And also, if you're avoiding something, most likely there is a gift for you there that will change something. And I had the on the bars class the topic of the 4 questions, and it was so cool because I'm using it so dynamically since Saturday.
Yeah.
When something is stuck in my life, or something is not changing, or when something is not light, just like, oh, what is this?
Yep.
What do I do with this? Can I change it? How can I change it? And not waiting for a response, because I was like, still I am sometimes I ask a question and then I go like, that, and that is a response, and that's an answer. So I go back like, okay, just go back to another question or the same question. What it's like for me, where I'm going to put my energy today. Like I love Dr. Dane said the other day, hey, you're not doing task. Just ask, where is my energy required today? Where is my energy required today? Where is my energy required today? And you'll create so much more than you have created in 30 days or something like that, he said.
Right. Right. Where can I put my energy today to grow everything that I've been asking for?
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting how dynamically we can stop all of our creations by thinking it's not possible, or it's not happening, or it's not showing up, instead of knowing that when you ask, it will show up one way, somehow.
Like,
You get to be surprised.
yes, the awareness I got this morning is so easy to have ease if you just ask a question. How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? And then if you be the energy, knowing that everything in life comes to me with this joy and glory, if you are that energy, no matter what you face, if it's good or bad, if it's nice or ugly, terrific, horrific, you know that it's going to become His joy and glory. You know that it's going to move you to a greater space. And to me, it's like, yeah, let's use those tools. And this one that I'm using dynamically for the last couple of 2 weeks, where is my energy required today? Where is my energy required today? And let yourself follow the energy.
Cool. So tell me about co-facilitating 10 facilitators. Like how did that work? Who started? Was it just total ease, or were there any conflicts?
It was like super ease. Actually, shout out to Joy Hernandez. I started Access, and she was like the facilitator that gave me my 3rd bars class. I like force her, really truly force her to give it to me because she didn't have it planned. I was in Mexico City that weekend, so I really asked her to give me the class. So it was like a private class, and she was amazing. She empowered me. She never told me I was wrong or I was like deciding things that were crazy. She focused on empowering me and follow the tools and letting me be, which I truly admire of her. And she's being a great creator. And truly, they organize everything. I invite a lot of people, which is what I like and love to do, and I'm good at, and it's easy for me. And everybody like put their energy on what they are good at. It was super easy. The class was like amazingly easy. As I said, it was like the way that we contribute each other to like bump it up a little bit in consciousness and create greater. There's were not even a moment where anybody was stomping into the other at all whatsoever. On the contrary, it was like super ease. And even in the swap yesterday, which like people will go into their questions and you could like, oh, I want to answer it or any other thing. It was like super easy. We all contributed. So I'm like in the question now, what can we create? What magic is available that I haven't considered, that it wasn't in my universe? Because as I said, when I started Access, it was like co-facilitating was not something that I was seeing. And now it was not even a class with 2 or 3. It was like 9 facilitators doing it at the same time, but not even at the same time. It was like truly following the energy. So it was like super contributing to us and to the people, because having 9 facilitators and being able to receive the uniqueness of us and at the same time showing them that we are united at the same time to create a greater class.
Yeah.
That was something that I'm super grateful for.
That's awesome.
Every one of them, and every one of them that attended the class. Because you know that I'm super grateful of the gift that bars are, that I allowed the bars to just be itself. So we weren't co-facilitating like that much. It was like, just receive the gift the bars are,
Awesome.
which I adore.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to just say? Brain went. Just that, you know, these things change every day. Something changes. Well, lots of things change. And if we can wake up and really be like, wow, I wonder what's different today, it would allow the change to move faster. But we tend to hold on to, well, that person was mean to me 3 years ago, so I still don't like them, you know, instead of who are they today? Who am I today? How can we play and move all of this forward faster and have more fun?
Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. I was not going to talk about fixed point of views, but you just explained it so easily. Your point of view creates your reality. And if you are not willing to let go of point of view, that's a fixed point of view. Thank you, Julie, for explaining it so easily. If you just, like, you don't want to let go of something, that's a point of view. So it's not going to change. It's not going to create greater. So your question, like, what is different today? What can I change? What has changed will open up that space for you to just create greater for you, for the rest of the world, and for the planet. And you may hear it a little bit like, oh yeah, you always talk about the planet. Like my friends that I grew up with, they're like, yeah, the planet. But yeah, you plant the seed there. I'm pretty sure they also like start picking it up about like being a contribution to the planet.
So that thing that we live on.
This thing that you're stepping on that is contributing energetically, either to heat you or to cool you, it's called the planet. And it was great. Like for me, I just had my first foundation.
Awesome.
And it was so cool because 5 kids show up. I mean, like they brought their mothers probably, and being the energy of being able to recognize that I can be this energy for kids to plant consciousness, to spread consciousness. I thought at the beginning, when I'm totally honest, I thought, what am I going to say with the kids? It's going to be different. I like to be me and there's kids in front. And I was just like, be me. And then it was super easy to show them, hey, you always can ask for ease. If your mom is always like after you for something, ask for ease, ask a question. And then later on, the kids were like, oh, so what else is possible now? And they were like shooting back at us all the questions. And I was just like, ooh, what is this? This is going to be
learners.
On day 4, this is going to be super interesting. But day 4, the kids were like laying down, just having fun and just being themselves. And it was like really, really great.
Well, thanks for saying that. It makes me realize how different I am as a mother.
To tell you, I mean, totally vulnerable when the first mother asked me, hey, my kids are choosing to go and they're 2. I was just like, hell no. And then I was just like, what are you even thinking? So I was like, what is the gift in this? What am I not willing to recognize? What consciousness I'm not willing to be and receive? And then it was so easy. And then she contributed because she said, oh, we were in the Global Foundation and the kids were there. And that was like, phew, so light. And then all of a sudden there were like, all the other mothers brought their kids. So it was like 5 kids. One was online and the other one was there. And not 2 were online. And it was such a contribution because their mothers were so able to receive the energy, being so present rather to being worried. Where are they? Where am I going to leave them? Who's going to take care of them? I have to go because I have to feed them or anything. They were like there and the kids were there and it was a contribution. Rather, I'm so thankful. Finally, I went out of my fixed point of views and I was just like, okay, let's just do it. Let's be a contribution. And it was the same thing with co-facilitating this class. And again, I'm so truly honored and grateful with these facilitators. And how does it get any better than this? Because it was so much kind and ease and a contribution, like inviting the other one to follow up and create greater in the energy that
so awesome. I'm so happy to hear that.
Do it everywhere in any part of our lives.
Cool. Wow. And it's already 10 o'clock, so I need to jump onto my expanding exercise, but I'm so happy to have been able to chat with you. And thanks everybody for joining. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Thank you for the invitation. I'm super, super grateful. It's always amazing to talk to you. Thank you for all the gifts that you are in my life. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, whomever is seeing us right now. Thank you. And whoever is going to see us in the future, thank you so much.
Yeah. Be in the question. Have fun.
Yes, be in the question.
Possible. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.